Texas could vote to leave the United States today. But the systems that keep life running do not change allegiance with a new flag. Law, finance, logistics. A decision made on paper can trigger failures in the real world, breaking machinery in ways few anticipate. The initial shock is not a debate. It is a truck that suddenly stops at a new border, unable to deliver a critical component. That first broken link exposes a vulnerability beneath political rhetoric. It overlooks the networks that move money, parts, and federal funds every hour. Small breaks propagate, turning isolated problems into system failure. In moments, you will see the legal baseline, the first and second order shocks to money, trade, and services, how the crisis escalates, and the deeper mechanism that reframes the debate. We will follow the pipes, wires, and ledgers that sustain more than 30 million people. What happens when a deeply integrated component is torn from the whole? The first obstacle is not political will, but the Constitution. In 1869, Texas versus White held the Union with Texas was complete, perpetual, and indissoluble. The court allowed exit only through revolution or consent of the states. There is no unilateral legal mechanism. Any secession bill would be challenged and likely declared void. Federal jurisdiction would continue inside Texas. Agencies and the military would follow U.S. law, not a new republic. Two competing claims to rule the same streets. Eagle Pass showed a small-scale preview of that collision. Even as platforms advanced and candidates won seats, most Texans preferred to remain American. Foreign amplification, including Russian-linked efforts, boosted the noise. Which law governs contracts, property, or crimes? Ambiguity freezes decisions. This legal impasse is the trigger for the wider failure chain. If independence is declared, the first destabilizing question is currency. The dollar is the lifeblood of wages, debts, savings, and contracts. Texas must choose, keep USD without control, or launch a new currency. Launching money needs a central bank, reserves, and new notes. None exist overnight. Forced conversions and depositors try to escape first. They rush for cash or wire funds outside Texas. Outflows force asset sales and insolvency risk within days. Firms owe in dollars but earn in a weaker currency. Defaults spread. Lenders pull back. Credit halts. Imports cost more. Food, gasoline, electronics, medical supplies. Fight inflation with extreme rates and strangle growth. Bank failures, credit freezes, and devaluation feed each other. Political dreams collide with monetary mechanics. If you value clear, mechanism-first analysis, tap like, add your view in the comments, and subscribe to follow the chain reactions that shape our world, because the next shock hits the borders and the clockwork of trade. Seamless state lines become hard international frontiers. Every truck faces inspection, paperwork, and tariffs. Pure friction. Texas is highly exposed to tariff shocks. U.S. tariffs on Texas goods. Texas retaliates. Costs rise both ways. Just-in-time saves cost. By removing slack, delays at a new border halt entire lines. Perishables spoil while waiting for clearance. Automotive and electronics networks sever across Texas, U.S., and Mexico. By estimates, tariff regimes could cost firms tens of billions and cut growth. Ports slow. Warehouses stall. One halt cascades into the broader manufacturing ecosystem. Texas's trade engine isolates and sputters. Outside USMCA, new deals take time. Meanwhile, tariffs and checks bite. Logistics failures become shortages you can see. Roughly a third of state revenue flows from federal programs. Secession shuts that tap. Budgets fall into red overnight. Road projects stop. Clinics go quiet. Rural hospitals face existential risk without federal reimbursements. Major storms demand federal-scale resources, now missing. Choices narrow, raise taxes massively, or slash services deeply. Education, safety nets, and infrastructure bear the cut. New revenue must appear overnight to keep the lights on. The price of symbolic freedom is service collapse. And second-order loops make each cut feed the next failure. Production halts create layoffs that cut demand and trigger more layoffs. Tax receipts fall as new state costs surge. Borrowing costs soar, if lenders will lend at all. The spiral tightens. Meanwhile, Texans are split, often sharply. Even within leadership, opposition is vocal and public. Most prefer to remain American. Weak mandate for rupture. Protests, counter-movements, and governance paralysis follow. Millions ask, do I keep my citizenship or my home? Skilled workers and firms leave, shrinking the tax base further. Foreign actors exploit division, amplifying conflict. Each failure reinforces the next. The cycle accelerates, and the shock radiates beyond Texas through shared supply chains. Secession debates fixate on identity and sovereignty and miss the system. Factories, finance, and law are interlocked across state lines. Strong energy cannot offset a broken banking system. The whole is only as strong as its most fragile link. Which failure would reveal the truth first? Law, trade, or daily life? Share your view. If this unpacked the hidden machinery for you, like the video, drop a thoughtful comment, and subscribe to explore the next scenario together. What scenario should we explore next? Share your ideas below. You've been watching If-Verse, where imagination meets possibility. See you in our next reality.